Hi everyone, it's Rachel, and in this video I'll be showing you how to create a pastel watermelon sloth charm using polymer clay. So let's get started. To begin, take the colour of polymer clay that you're going to be making your sloth. I'm using a light purple or a lilac colour for mine. So you want to start off by rolling a ball of this clay into an oval for the head and then shaping another piece of clay into a teardrop shape for the body. Use your blade to trim off the pointed part of this teardrop so that you have a flat surface to work with, and then you can connect the head and the body together and also blend down the edges so that they stay nice and secure. For the sloth's face, I'm taking a small ball of this vanilla coloured clay and using my rolling pin to flatten it down into a thin sheet on my work surface. I'm just using my finger to spread it to the shape and size that I want, and then carefully cutting a little triangle in the top part of the oval so that it almost looks like a heart. I continued trimming with my blade until the two top sides were nice and rounded, and then once you've created this, you can attach it onto your charm in the centre of the head. Now to create the sloth's little eye patches, I'm taking some darker purple polymer clay and rolling two balls into teardrops and then pressing these down gently before then positioning them on either side of the face. So for the kawaii face on my sloth, I'm going for a very happy little expression. So here I am adding two U-shaped pieces of brown polymer clay for the sloth's eyes, and then also adding some U-shaped pieces of clay in the center for the mouth as well. I attached on a small piece of brown clay for the nose, and then two pink pieces of clay beside the eyes to create the cheeks. I then wanted to give my sloth a little tuft of hair, so that's what I'm creating here. I began with two teardrop shaped pieces of clay, which I positioned together and then trimmed off the bottom part so that I had a flat surface and that they would sit nicely against the head. Next, we're moving on to making the watermelon. So take the colour of your clay of choice and flatten it down with a rolling pin to a thickness that you would like your slice of watermelon to be. Using a round cookie cutter, you can trim off part of your watermelon, and if it isn't the right size like mine wasn't, you can also just fix it up using your blade and trim little parts off until you're happy with the shape and the size. Then we want to roll two pieces of clay into coils. So one is going to be a white polymer clay and the other is going to be green, and this is to create the rind of the watermelon. Once you have rolled your clay into coils, flatten both of these down with your rolling pin. You'll want the white piece of clay to be thinner and the green piece of clay to be slightly thicker. I then sat my watermelon slice on top of my white polymer clay and I trimmed it to size using my blades. Once you've done that, you can then position your watermelon onto the green part of the rind and again use your blade to trim it to shape. To give my watermelon some little bite marks, I'm just using this cookie cutter here which has a small round part on the end, which was the perfect size to create a little bite mark. But if you don't have a cookie cutter like this, you can also use the end of a straw to cut out some little sections. I'm now adding the seeds to my watermelon. So I trimmed some even sized sections of black polymer clay, and then for an extra little detail, I'm shaping each one into tiny hearts using my needle tool. Once I had all my seeds prepared, I then just positioned them onto the slice. Moving back onto the sloth, we're now going to create the arms and the legs. So take some of your body colour and create some large teardrops that are slightly flattened down that you can connect onto the side of the body for the legs. Before we add the arms, we are going to position on our watermelon slice, and then you can add the arms on either side of the body so that it looks like your sloth is holding onto the watermelon. The next detail we're going to be adding are the sloth's claws. So you can do this by rolling some white polymer clay into a thin coil and then trimming off the end pieces. And I did this until I had enough for 3 claws on each leg. Finally, go ahead and add a tail on the back of your sloth, and then if you would like to make it into a charm, go ahead and add an eye pin before baking it in your oven according to your package's instructions. After baking, I'm taking some super glue and I'm using this to secure the eye pin, and then I'm also adding a coat of UV resin as my glaze for extra shine and protection. So this is what my kawaii watermelon sloth looks like once it's completely finished. I really love how this design turned out, and it was actually inspired by a show bag toy. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel for lots more crafty videos, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys!